introduce myself. My name is Dominique Rochelle Bautista. Everybody knows me by Spiritual, and it's spelled Spearritual. Spiritual is her name. I'm from LA, and I moved here when I was 9 years old. So I've been here for 22 years, and if you calculate that, then I'm pretty sure you can get my age. The reason why I'm starting this podcast is so you guys can get to know me and about my life and about my everyday life and about my past, my present, my future, because everybody has a story to be told, and this is my story. I want to write my own book and write through this camera. So here we go. I know that everybody has had a life, whether hard, whether easy, whether rich, poor, whatever it may be. But I do know this, that I didn't have any harder of a life than anybody else. But I do know that the life that I was given and the ups and the downs and the suffering and the pains that I've gone through have helped me be the woman that I am today. And that's why I wanted to start this, is because I want to go ahead and give all those people out there that are on the verge of maybe committing suicide or maybe just not having, a good time, or they're not in a good spot in their life right now. I want to go ahead and share my experiences with you guys and let you know that, there is a way out, and there always will be. And I want to tell you my experiences, and with my experiences, I'm hoping that maybe I can plant that seed, and maybe you can learn something from it, or maybe it will make you have a clairvoyant moment to where you'll understand it so much better. So, I live in Las Vegas right now, and I'm 32 years old, and I am an artist, first and foremost. It took me a long time in my life to figure out who I was, and I won't lie about that. I'm 32, and I'm just now really honestly figuring and starting to really know myself deep down within. And me knowing myself deep down within has definitely has given me some laughs, some cries, some weirded out moments, some euphoric moments. And I know myself, like the back of my hand. The only belief in the Bible that I believe in is know thyself. And to know thyself, when you know thyself and you know the 50 natural universal laws, then there's no way in hell that you can not ascend in life. And what I mean by ascend in life is not come back again to learn, to repeat the same mistakes and have to learn the same lessons over and over again. And that is why my name is Spiritual, is because I do have quite a bit of, I don't want to say wisdom or knowledge, because I don't want you guys to think that I'm smarter or, more intelligent than anybody. It's just an understanding of what spirituality is. And I keep on having little brain farts in my brain because I want to know exactly what direction and how I want to take it. I want to make sure that I start correctly and I want to end correctly with you guys. So my first encounter with my spiritual awakening was 2 years ago in 2016 when I met my first love. I first found love at 30 years old, and that first love ended up being my twin flame. And my twin flame ended up being the love of my life, like a Cinderella story. And if you guys really don't believe in true love, it really does exist. Because I've had a chance to go through it, to see it, to feel it, to live it. And it's definitely something that you don't want to let go of when you do experience it. Because when you grasp on true love, it's so rare. It's so rare to the point where it probably will never happen again in your life. If it does, if it really even does, because 98% of this universe is still sleeping and only 1% is awake. I mean, 2% is awakened. What I mean by that is they're unconscious competent. They don't know what they don't know. That's what that means. And there's kind of a series of how it goes. You are unconscious competent, you become conscious competent, then you become conscious, and then you become higher conscious, and then you become super conscious. That's what it is. And there's certain, just energy is everything, and frequency is everything. And sorry, that was my phone. But your thoughts, they're more than what you just think that they are. Your thoughts are energy, and they're faster than the speed of light, faster than any satellite, stereo, anything, tower, I don't care what it is, faster than the speed of light, your thoughts. And your thoughts of being energy, it affects every single human being and everything in this universe. So the next time that you think a negative thought or something bad upon somebody else, I would definitely think twice, because I do honestly believe in the 50 natural laws of the universe. One being the law of freeze, the law of abundance, the law of love, the law of what you reap, what you sow, the law of harmony, the law of attraction, the law of, I can go on and on and on, but first and foremost, 2 years ago when I did have my spiritual awakening and I found my first love, my twin flame. If you don't know what that is, a twin flame, they believe that thousands and millions of years ago, thousands of years ago, that a human soul was split in two, and into a feminine and into a masculine. And when it was split into two, they landed on this earth, this universe, this planet, and they say that you are eventually at least one time going to encounter your twin flame. And your twin flame is an exact replica of yourself. So they always call one a runner and one the chaser. So one's a runner, one's a chaser. So, one runs away from love and one chases after them because they love them so much, because they know that the other one is afraid of love. Now, myself, I was the runner. I ran all the time because when I was young, I didn't receive what you would call motherly love, or, I didn't get sat down at the table and had my homework did with me. I didn't have a mother that was always there or loved me, but I know that she did do the best that she could, and I love her no matter what, because it's not her fault. She went, because I don't know how she was raised, and nobody knows how her mother was raised. So it's nobody's fault on how, a child ends up. And I truly believe that. And I truly believe in manifestation, because it's one of the 50 natural laws. So when I started getting more and more into my spirituality, because after my spiritual awakening, it kind of just was like a rocket. It just shot off, and I just wanted to read all about it. I wanted to learn all about it. And now I go to motivational seminars, and if there's any and everything that has to do with frequency and energy, I definitely listen to it. I listen to audio videos. I listen to motivational speakers online. I don't watch TV, and I haven't watched TV in over 2.5 years, and I haven't watched a movie in over 2. These days, all I do is listen to music, because the messages are in the music, I believe. Because when you listen, the universe is trying to tell you something, either a message, either a sign. Because I know that there's times in people's lives that a sign might show up, and that there's some reason that word in that sign was so clairvoyant, it stood out to them so much that they couldn't help to be like, wow, why did that stand out to me so much, even though I've been on the street so many times and I've seen that billboard so many times? Well, obviously, the universe is trying to send you messages, you know, or a sign that maybe you're listening to or you're not listening to. And, you know, I'm here because I want to change the world. I want to change the world for a better place, for sending out the messages or planting seeds into people, or give them the kind of information or the kind of answers that they need to be able to go on that right path. Because I definitely don't want people to go on the path that, not necessarily the path was bad that I chose, but it definitely was the path that caused me the most pain and the most suffering. Now, being that said, obviously it was the path that I had to take. And the reason why it was the path that I had to take, it was because I had to go through all that pain and suffering for me to be able to share my story with others. So, as bad as you think that your life is, there's always worse. Always. I just recently found out that on YouTube, my friend was watching this video in Africa where they eat each other. They kill each other. They feces in the ocean. And these kids, and they actually sell their body parts for heroin. And it's horrible. Like, I could never imagine like what those kids, you know, grow up, you know, or why they were given those lives. But, you know, that comes down to, you know, how grateful and how appreciative we should be to be here and living the lives that we are in America. You know, a lot of people don't think about these things. You know, they want to think about somebody flipping them off at a street light. Come on, like, there's so much worse things. And being flipped off at a street light, I believe that's their problem anyways. So why take on their problem? They're trying to give you their problem because they're having a bad day. And as far as I'm concerned, I'm not going to let anybody affect my energy or my frequency, because that's just giving them what they want, and you don't want to give them what they want. And if anybody is calling you names or being rude to you or, you know, just being nasty, that's their problem. It's not yours. And you need to let them know that. Listen, this is your problem, and I'm sorry, right now, I'm not going to take on that problem because it's not mine to take on. Now, if you need some help with your problem that possibly maybe I can help you with, you know, maybe I can try and do my best to do that. But in society these days, that we don't think those ways, to put ourselves in those people's shoes and try and understand their point of view of life or what they're going through, because we're so focused on ourselves, because we're such selfish human beings that, you know, 98% of the time it's about me, you know. And I want to talk about, you know, how my day went today. You know, that's a little bit insight of how I became spiritual, my name, and came to this exact moment, place, and second in time, is because this is exactly where I'm supposed to be, because everything I believe is synchronicity. Now, my no may not be of your no, and I don't want you guys to sit here and have to believe everything that I say, because wisdom is in knowing you may know nothing at all. And as far as I'm concerned, I may know nothing at all. But I know what I went through, and I know what I've endured, and I know what feelings and pain and suffering are in my stories. So here I am to share them with you. And this is day one. Every single day, I'm going to sit down with you, and I want to share my story, my full story, about all of me, because my life wasn't once upon a time. My life was time upon once. not once upon a time. And it wasn't that fairy tale ending just yet, but it will be eventually. Every single day I do struggle. Still, I struggle with my spirituality because a lot of the people around us, they affect our energy. And unless you become impenetrable, meaning to not absorb other people's energies and not let them affect you, then you're going to be affected by so many different energies, especially if you're an empath. Empaths have the ability to feed off of other people's energies, feel what other people are feeling, and also absorb those energies. If an empath knows which type they are, they're capable of learning how to either absorb those energies and use them in the right areas that they need to use them, or they can become impenetrable and not let it affect them at all. Excuse me. And me myself, yes, I am an empath. So a lot of people, I always tell them, if you let a man talk long enough, he tells on himself. So if you get those kind of people around you and they talk a lot, just always remember, whatever, if it's gossip, if they're talking about other people, if they're talking about themselves, everything that they talk about, like say, that look what that girl's wearing, look, oh, her ass is showing, or oh my God, that girl's so ugly, or let's say like a man like dissing another dude, like, look at that nigga, or whatever it may be, talking shit, or even talking positive. It goes in every way, but it's a reflection back on themselves. Because it's a reflection in the mirror all the time, 24/7. Everything that we think, everything that we do, all of our actions, to our reactions, to our body language, to our thoughts, to our pre-thoughts, to our subconscious, to our consciousness. It's all connected. And if you know thyself, then you will understand, the way your mind works, and the way your body works, and the way your body feels when you eat a grape, or when you sip on a pina colada, or when you eat a big fat steak. You know exactly what your body, the little things that happen inside of your body and how you digest it, and whether it gives you air or heartburn or whatever it may be. But that's knowing thyself, is just knowing your feelings and knowing which one of them are and why you're feeling them, and knowing what triggered it, or what brought it on, and knowing exactly where to pinpoint to solve that problem, and to learn from it, learn from those mistakes, and never to make them again, because we don't want to continue making mistakes over and over again and reaping the same pain and suffering. We want to learn the mistake, learn the lesson, and move on, and never let it repeat itself. So here's day one, and I hope that you guys are definitely intrigued, because I have a lot to share with you guys. That's just day one, and it's nice to know you and nice to meet you. And I just dropped my ring, so I guess that's out. Bye, you guys.